Hi again. So it's me, Mima. I needed to explain something. I had to check on Bilal and he got hurt here. I told him if I'm not even taking him to school tomorrow, he can take a rest because it's a bit swollen. He was jumping on the trampoline and he fell. But we know who is behind it anyway. So your lies are up. Something is catching up with you. I need to explain something very important. Very, very important. I think this is where the mistake comes in. People don't fucking get it. When yesterday, no. Yep, yesterday, when I was picking those energies for people who were to go with me and Bilal, somebody was, I don't even know how to insult you because you really pissed me off. Stupidity. That's why sometimes there's somebody like this person here. Why on earth? I'm going to post your photo because you lack respect. And I'm going to post your photo. Just a moment. I snapped it. Where is it? Here. You know who you are, right? You know who you are. How many times do I need to repeat myself? Woman, age is a problem sometimes. Why do you want to pretend to be someone you're not? Because you're trying to take a position which you're not. It's not yours. And I've been watching you. You're among those people who signed documents and stole my identity, and you robbed me clean. You are involved in the fraud of insurance also. Apart from that, Sabrina, you are also involved here. Do you see? This is Egypt, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, communication is a key for everything, especially when, that's why I like to give I told Virgo, and by the way, right now, swap in your energies where your sun sign is. Sit there, listen to this message, because I will be beaming your information directly as per your sun sign. And then after that, you can do whatever you want to do. But when I air this, when you listen to this, sit in your sun sign. I did tell Virgo, this is not the time. You have to stop. Either we stop this completely, I find my way out, and you can stay with these stupid comics who are going to be driving you crazy, like the ones who have been taken by tsunami and the rest. Or we have to do things by the books, and doing by the books is have to do it right way, no triangulating. You are going to lose a lot. I mean a lot, based on what you have done. You are investing blindly. Another one, Leo signed a contract blindly. You had Jupiter and Venus, and quickly you signed the contract and you thought you're going to make money. No. You didn't. Did you look at the energy of that person you're signing with? You didn't. It was an ethic. All right? It was an ethic. So, yes, the investment will just give birth to nothing. It will just bring you down to poverty, into a page. You're going to lose instead of gaining, because it was unethical. The person had a false identity. She's lying that she's Mima. And that's why it's causing a lot of problems, including that family, which is of Rambo, as I explained, the team of Rambo and the rest. They're lying about everything. Now, this is where the problem is. I picked 6 people. Those people you were to clone their energies with Bilal, my son, the 14-year-old. I picked Tek Kazi. I picked Muhammad Salah. I picked and 4 others. Even that they call her Falcon Heavy now. The thing is, you are not to, go, like, everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. You are not to go like everybody has a rocket. No. What is the reason? Why is the reason I said I want this girl? Because she will be used as a stamp for the German language. You were to put her energy in Bilal. Merging, the way we do it. We merge the energy. Like I just saw a message. Philly said, I'm feeling a heart palpitation. Someone is worried they're caught. That's a Capricorn. I've had that energy before. It's Capricorn. I've synchronized my energy once with them. That's a Capricorn. That's a Capricorn, definitely. And yes, they will be shaken because he's among those people who forged those papers. So what I'm trying to tell you here is the thing was, you were to take, let's say, Muhammad's energy, Muhammad Salah. His energy was to be merged with Bilal. Like the way they're stupid, they're merging Andrew Tate and Rambo for him. What for? A 14-year-old. When he has his purposes, he draws everything was taken. They're harvesting. I was trying to repair the energy with the people who have been chosen to go with him. Somebody brought their own child. Shangri-La was sitting under Aquarius, Mauritius. Make it make sense. Where were you going? And that is the reason it never worked. And because of the misconception and false information, everything has gone down. Everything. Who is going to take responsibility of this? There is someone with their sister who is a jealous sister, always passing the false information. Look at the damage. Someone wanted their own child to be the best, only to fuck up. So you are supposed, this is when I pick people and I tell you, your energy is merging with mine, so come. So I pick people. The thing was, the rest, my group who are there, my moderators, those they know what to do. They were to merge those energies with my son Bilal before we take off. Unfortunately, you didn't do that. First, there's a fake Bilal who was created and was given the sign of Taco, Asian. And unfortunately, we have a father figure who is a Capricorn. He loves the whores of Asia. He goes crazy for Asian punani, that even when he knows something is wrong, but if he just sees the titties flying there, he will just, titty robot, titty. He will never concentrate on the right thing. I don't know, he is cursed, but it's because cheap is expensive. And especially if someone knows you're too easy to get, they will just use you. So they took a child because Bilal has small eyes. They took a child, dressed him, and it was Team Red, Alex. He's red and he's boo-boo. And then we had a black who sits in Taurus, Ali, Team Iran. They did this, not calculating, and a Pisces who also did that. I don't even understand, what were you thinking? So they were merging the energy to another person. They merged the energy to a different person. Of which, that's why everything, it was like system shut down. So even when you show me Falcon Heavy and then you put me the photo of that girl who's smiling like Christina Wolf, it didn't work. It didn't work because somebody was trying to control the energies. You were taming God. We're not supposed to do that. And this can be a Leo female because they wanted their child maybe to be like that. Yes, Megan. And they thought they're going to make a lot of... They thought they will do this and make a lot of money. So you swapped my son's energy and gave it to Andrew and Rocky. And that is Sarah who is doing that. And then they took the energy which is supposed to be coming to Bilal for this purpose and swap it to her child. Unfortunately, your child has a 5. All this energy, what your child now has embodied, is gonna cause nothing but disaster. This child will never be able to use, because it's not their purpose. It's not their purpose. You have binded that energy, but this is gonna be a disaster in your life. This child will grow with something extremely uncomfortable. They will never have a career which is settling. Yep, they will never have a career which is settling, because there will always be conflict. The energies are not his. So it's like zzz, they will always have problem. And now you want to defend yourself, but you have manifested it for your child. You played with the wrong identity. Identity theft is not allowed in spirituality, and when we are playing with energies. And that's why you see people like astronauts, you don't read them just like that. Or people like us who know how to play with energy. And the ones who are everybody has a department they do. Merging of energies is different. Yeah, you're going to be very heartbroken because that child is not going to succeed. I swear to God. You ruined your own kid. Do you see now how karma works? When you wish something evil for another child and you thought you're going to have it and you're going to succeed, this is what you're going to get. Your child will never find peace, because there will be, it's like buzzing of sounds which are not, frequencies which are not aligned to his DNA. Why don't I take a doctor and put in Bilal's energy? It will never work. How come I tell doctors not to I don't call doctor to merge his energy with Bilal? It will never work. This is what is happening. The child will never settle. And Aries was doing this. Yep, it's Aries. Aries is the one behind it, and a Capricorn. Toxic binding has made your own child's mind now. It's that child will just have buzzing sound in the system, and it's gonna corrupt the whole DNA. Everything was just, yeah, there's judgment here. There's judgment here. I'm not stupid. Why didn't I pick anybody? The accountants, every career. He likes to draw. You stole his energy. I told you. Return his energy, but because you are ego, Aries, you destroyed your child's life. I'm really sorry. You'll have a lot of work to do now. Because you thought you're going to work and you're going to get recognition. Unfortunately, no. And the Sagittarius is involved here. And here you are, like an emperor. Isn't this bitch a Sag? Isn't this bitch here? Isn't this bitch a Sag here? I won't be surprised. She is, if I'm not wrong. Deception. It was not supposed to be done this way, even with the emperor. What are you going to do now? There's a tower. You see, I'm telling you, these are the frequencies I've been talking about. You don't see them, the person feels them. So it's going to be like zzz, zzz, zzz. Your child will be just like, ah. And I have personally experienced it. I have seen someone manipulating frequencies and a child ended up epileptic. Trust me. A child ended up epileptic because they can't, it's like the strings of their DNA in their body system, the nerves, the neurons and the electrons were not compatible to that energy which was beamed to that child, because gifts come from your DNA. And if they don't match the frequency, it creates unsettlement in the brain, because there is no the electrons are not flowing in a pattern. It doesn't flow in a pattern. So what happens, instead of it goes like zzz, zzz, because there's a friction. There's a friction. And that's the reason why I said yesterday, if we are with the wrong people, we will face resistance, there will be friction, and we will not meet everything the way we want. And because of the resistance frequency, when there's a friction, we can just cut off in the middle. So we will not achieve our things. And that's why I just took off alone. I didn't go with anybody. But somebody was like launching heavy, I don't know what, it didn't work. And I know Team German, you are so much into it. It's you, Aries, you fucked up big time. Now, the person who has that energy, this is what they're going to be experiencing. Pull that out quickly. I'm telling you, judgment. Pull it out quickly, because this deception will ruin this child. You thought it was going to be celebration, and a Sagittarius was that behind it. Aries, no, you are wrong. And that's why it's good to ask. Wenig frag bleibt dumm, the way the Germans say. The little you ask, you remained ignorant. You should have asked. You could have told me, okay, I want that for my kid. I don't mind. I can just tell you who can fix up with the child, and then you can match that. We could do for all the children. We could help them. But I started with my kid. I'm healing my kid. You still came and did the deception. Now, unfortunately, instead of building this child to get a recognition, you created drama. And that's why I said that girl who is running looking like Jay-Z, I told her, don't even stay near my energy, because I'm fighting a lot of battles. You want to be near me, it's going to affect you. Reason, you are already aligned in your life purpose. You have that gift. But when you sit around people who are in a very resistance mode, like I'm always in resistance mode, I'm fighting energies, and I'm fighting a lot of these spells and everything, it will affect you. So when you know you are already aligned, pull off. It's better to be even going MIA. Concentrate on your career. Your career is important than what you see, the shit which is going here. We have a lot of enemies here than friends. So this is what is happening to that child now. It's something that... That's why we should not want to take something that doesn't belong to you. This was a binding which was done demonic way. A demonic binding. It was not frequency binding. This was a demonic binding. And that's why this child now, this energy is going to, it will kick off well, and then it, boom, it's just not going to be okay. Because all the gifts you have given this child, they are not for them. They are not for them. They are not for them. Trust me. And this is you, Aries. Because the red is there, and there was black and there was white. So it's you. And you know who is Team Black? You fucked up. You really, really fucked up. Just when it's good when you listen and ask. Ask people. I'm always available for everybody. It's not hard to ask, but there's no point of creating this. That was a fake Pisces you created. It's not Bilal. And you are throwing a nasty energy to Bilal, of which now it's hurting. Look at the people now, what they're going to go through. So this is how it's even hurt those are high vibrational people who are very scientific, like the one I mentioned in DXB. The guy is very scientific. But because of what it has happened here, now you tell me what you're going to do, because you need to remove that thing. You might lose your you're affecting your child's mental health. Yep. It's like you have just thrown an assassin to your kid, or whoever had this energy. Yeah, I told you, you have just thrown an assassin, brain assassin. It doesn't work that way. This child doesn't know how to draw. You harvested the energy. This child is not into science. You harvested that energy. You drained Bilal and gave the energy of somebody else, and then you are putting this. Now, this is what's happening. And a Leo is very significant here. And this is somebody else who is pregnant, who also did that. It's not working. Telling you the truth now. Yes, someone is pregnant here. And they really need to protect themselves, because you might even, that's why I don't even do this when someone is pregnant. Because you might you don't know the baby is not out in the world, you have not seen it, you don't know the energy of that baby, you can end up with a Down syndrome baby when you do this to an unborn child. Or let's say a child is already born and is still young, and you do these things. You don't do this to babies. You might tamper their life. Like right now, I'm telling you, I have seen it with my own eyes. A child, someone turned epileptic because they could not conjure that energy. And when I dug deeper with my guides, and they told me, you see the frequencies of everyone has a different DNA, just like our fingerprints. Even I can be same, like siblings, like twins, and we can maybe look identical. I don't have any twin, but we can have like twins who look identical. And trust me, my DNA, her DNA, the structure will be extremely different, just like the fingerprints. And that's why everyone's frequencies are totally different. But the moment you try to mix it up and give somebody something which is not meant for them, or it's not even if it's in their DNA, but it's not aligned with me. I picked my energy because I'm aligning to my son. I gave birth to him. I'm carrying his etheric cord. You gave that energy to someone who is not connected to my womb. How do you expect that to work? And that is why it's going to be buzzing in his head. And when you think that child is going to be successful, that is how you're bringing the downfall of that kid. Like they have put Bilal in a boxing. That is not his energy. And that's why he's having a hard time accepting that. It's not, we don't have boxers in our family. But because he was swapped, and you know very well, Aries, you have this habit of doing this. And you did it with the toxic Capricorn. Again, it's going to bring a lot of conflicts and tower. And a heartbreak. This is not going to work the way you expect. And it might harm that child, because be it your kid or somebody else, everyone has a signature DNA string in the family. Everybody, just like fingerprints. Your mother and your father who gave birth to you, they don't have the same fingerprints. Reason, because you have to be unique in your own way. And we're even told in the holy books, everybody was created unique in their own way. And that's why we have different soul purpose. You can come from a family, they're all singers, but you can be a doctor. See, you can have a different life purpose. You are just born through that family, but maybe you have, your soul was something else. That's why when we reincarnate, you are maybe last time you are Celtic, this time you're born African. Last time you're Arab, this time you're born Asian. Such things. But you can never ever mix that energy. And this is where the blunder is. The person, that's what I'm telling you, we have someone who is extremely toxic, and Scorpio is involved in this. Don't even need to say much. A Scorpio and a Virgo. They've been doing this. Meg, Harry, Danisha, Aliyah, they have this tendency because they want to win at all costs. And this girl who is a Leo, 44 years, they want to win at all costs. Oh, look. Do you see that? I just opened the line. It didn't even last a few minutes. I showed you the photo. They've really closed it quickly. Because they will steal my work and air it here. Who is it? Mariam, the sister who is evil. An evil sister. I have an evil sister. So this is what is happening here. 1 minute she's good. Yeah, I'm speaking the truth. 1 minute she's good, next minute she's not. You don't even understand, but justice will come between me. I don't even need to say much about in this investment. You're narcissistic, fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, and there's an Aquarian and another air sign. This definitely is a Gemini here. All they wanted was money and tentering people and taking recognition anyway. It will not go well the way they wanted it, because whatever they're planning, it might backfire. She's not my real sister, of course, but whatever she is planning, it might backfire. She's not doing things by the book. That's the problem. There's a lot of jealousy. The reason is Aries. Alex Sensation, you have a problem. If it is your sister, then I'm telling you in advance, your sister is misleading you. and this will cause you a problem. That's why your journey, twin flame journey, is always a problem, because your sister is believing in binding, and she can be a very toxic Capricorn. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you the truth. Yeah, she fucked up with the energy of this. See where it is. The Wheel of Fortune. You're playing with astrology, but you're doing it the wrong way, and you're binding people who are not supposed to be bound. Instead of gaining, you're banning them. You're banning them. And this is going to affect you. Turn around. Turn around and fix this quickly. Pour that water in this cup, because you're going to be hurt. It will affect you, because your karma is your part and parcel of this. Because you're trying to leave somebody out in the cold because this person wanted to get married, and unfortunately it will be tears. This was a past life lesson. So this is what you need to know when it comes to science. Don't allow somebody, unless you have someone who is a mind reader, or someone who is an energy reader, intense energy reader, like the way I do. I can pick, just by looking at something, a picture of somebody, or listening to their voice, I can pick their energy, and I will tell you if their frequencies are merged, they are compatible to you. So whoever did that merging, that is where the biggest problem. It started from the main astrologer, Hamoud and Mariam, and they still don't want to take accountability of that. And then comes the gang of Pakistani who has my identity, and she's still lying to death, this woman. But justice is here. She's gonna get her. Yeah, they're going to go to drain into poverty, and I warned them long time. They didn't listen. They will be losing a lot. This person is going to go to poverty. Yeah, into a page. So this is the blunder you made. If you thought it is you, Egypt, especially you, Pharaoh, you are trying to do this to help your child, you just turned the whole table upside down. You are ruining your kid's life. Again, justice, I'm telling you. As a Libra, you're ruining your kid's life, yeah, because the spells will not work. You are using spells, but for recognition, it's not working that way. Energy is different. That's why even astrologers, people like Lada, they are conk when it comes to astrology. But when it comes to energy, she can't do it, because we are not in the same level. You can't fool her when it comes to astrology. But when it comes to energy, to astrology, when it comes to energy reading and vibration, that's not her niche. That's how it works. I go deeper. I don't only do astrology. In fact, I leave it behind. I go deeper into, and that's why I say how I do my science, that's always, even you see the global prediction, it's like I'm having a bad eye view. It's totally different. Unless you know somebody's energy and vibration, you can't awaken their hidden talent, or awaken, or heal them. And that is what I even said in the Rosh Hashanah reading in the Jewish New Year, that ancient system that where you can pick people's energy and read them, even remote. Like these people, I just got them all on phone, and I picked their energies just by looking at them, and for others just by listening to their voices. But competition for what? If you needed for your child, you could have asked me, Mima, how can I merge? How can I help my child also enhance themselves? I could have helped you. Okay, do this, and then I have moderators who will have helped you to do that, and they do the merging. I don't do it. They do the merging. For me, I just do my job is just to pick which person is compatible to that energy. It was not hard. I was doing it for my kids. Somebody thought, okay, this is a new way we can make money, only to end up now you're going to even make a child epileptic, or somebody even adult epileptic if you do this. Even if you were the one who is doing it, it can come back and bite you, because it's like echo. Energy is echo. Have you gone to a place where it's just like empty, and then you say, hey, and then the echo comes back, hey, hey, hey. So whatever you send out, that beam comes back to you. So it can affect you also, the one who is doing it. Make sure you do the right thing. Learn to get someone who can read the energy, the frequency, the vibration. Some people can look very okay, but their vibration is extremely low. So unless their vibration is high at a certain voltage, then you can now match their energy, or you can look for someone who's compatible to that. Otherwise, you can give them you are giving an energy to somebody who is very low vibrational, you are bringing all of them down, because negative is always stronger than positive. It takes 100 watts of negativity to serve only one positive watt of, one positive watt. 1 watt of positivity. But it takes 100, it can pull you down. So just to convert it to positives. And that's why we see people always get misled by peer pressure, false information, and pressure groups. You give in quickly. But to see something in a positive way, it takes a lot of wisdom to do that. And that is that 1 watt percent. So frequencies rule our life, and they're everywhere. But I don't have the tools to do it. Most people, artificial intelligence, they do it. But that is, as I saw even Lada wrote it, that's not our future, because most people, trust me, have you seen, like, there was a post, I sent a message long time, and I think it's the team CIA had it, Havana syndrome. That's not a sickness. Havana syndrome is frequencies. And that's why they always wait when a house, like anything you use, mobile have frequencies, right? So they tamper with that energy, and then they increase the power of the frequency, and then you get this buzzing sound like zzz, you feel like your brain is shaking. That's Havana syndrome. And it can give you nose bleeding, even from your eyes, because those are nerves which are now bursting like poof, poof, poof. So they can't take it. There's a lot of pressure in it, and when the pressure when the electrons are more in a nerve, they force themselves to expand, and they burst. That pressure is too much to hold, it bursts. And then you see people like bleeding and everything. Go read about the Havana syndrome. That's not a sickness. That's it's a frequency. And you can be just in a house like this. But because we use internet, so definitely wireless, they're everywhere. It's more like radiation, I can say. There's everywhere we have frequencies here flying, right? Somebody can be out there. The only thing they need normally is just to plug like there's some gadgets they can put in your place, in your house, for example, or interconnect with your routers and activate a software like your phone. Maybe you're just talking on your phone, and the next thing is, while you're talking, they increase that volume of the voltage. When they increase it, then the radiation is beyond your ear starts to buzz and you feel sick. That's Havana syndrome. So it's not a sickness. It's all about playing with the radiation frequencies. And can you imagine, that is just one bit. Imagine you've stamped the energy of a child or unborn kid, and you give them that type of energy. You can give birth to a child who's just like Down syndrome or brain dead. The person can be considered brain dead. They're here, they're functioning, they're alert, but clinically, this person maybe is brain dead or paralyzed brain. They have like a paralyzed brain because nothing functions. So be very careful playing with frequencies. And that's why I was extremely mad yesterday. Someone is just doing binding blindly. You don't ask, but it has an effect on you. Even if it is spells, it has an effect on you because you are using your energy, and energy is everything. Remember, matter in physics, it has 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. It takes, for example, you can have a piece of ice or butter. It's in solid state. The moment we heat it up, it expands and it turns into the liquid state. From the liquid state, when the heat expands even more, now it burns and starts to go into smoke, and that is gas. But we can still do like distillation, and we put something there. That gas, when it hits here and it cools down, it condenses itself and becomes more liquid again, of which you can freeze it and it becomes what? Solid. So such processes can happen with our energy, how you are playing. So if you're, let's say, you are doing even witchcraft and binding spells, it has a way. You are thinking you're binding those things, they are going. No, they're still around you. You are inhaling them. So they come here, they get cooled, they become like mucus in your system, and they get attached in your veins, in your nerves, in everything. And that's how you embody that energy back in you. Sooner or later, people say, yeah, you see, it's karma. They were doing spells and it's coming back to them. No, it's that spell. When you do it, just know it's affecting you. Just like when you sage. When you sage yourself or you sage a house, it's like you're also saging your energy. Reason? Because you also inhale that smell or it's around. And I always tell people energy is contagious. So when you do this, it comes back to you. If you didn't know, I'm telling you, it comes back to you. Because matter does not disappear. The whole world is like that. It just changes its state, its status, from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, and it can come back the same way. But the thing is, once it goes into gas and it's in the thin air, now it's invisible. But when it is solid liquid, you can see it. Once it's invisible, do you know where it's going to land? You don't know. That's the biggest problem. Binding spells are the worst, or doing this witchcraft. Nobody wants to listen, yeah? But when it comes to frequency, I'm telling you, especially if you are doing it, make sure yourself, you know what you're doing. 1, 2, put it in mind that when you're doing it and you're knowing that you're doing it to the wrong person, it has a funny way of coming back to you. Something can happen out of nowhere. You feel sick. Like the way you say someone is feeling heart palpitation. You wonder why. Yeah, that frequency is not aligned to your DNA. And if it's not aligned to your DNA, your strings now are getting like tick, 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 tick. It's like electrostatic. Tick, tick. So it creates uncomfortable feeling in your body. Your nerves are getting destroyed. There is not enough oxygen passing through the veins. And when that happens, nerves are affected, neurons are affected, electrons are affected, pineal gland is affected. Everything starts to fail. That's why we have a body system failing. You start to feel sick, you feel fatigue, you feel this, you feel that. Well, that is all the frequencies. It's because you are merged to something that is not fit in your DNA. And worst case scenario, I have seen people also in a documentary that it can cause paralysis. Epileptic I've seen with my own eyes, but it can cause paralysis. That was a documentary. When I was doing this, I was following it up. And that is why I was telling these people who are making, pretending to be theta wave, solfeggio. I've done this with my guides for some time, and they have not even certified me to go ahead now and showcase my work in public. Because it is very risky. It can harm me and it can harm the person who I'm treating if it's not the right way. Or creating those frequency for general people, you have to know there is also bar limit. We have a certain limit, like just like in the bar of acidic and basic state. And then in the middle is alkaline. So you have to know from 0 to 9 where it falls. So you can't create a frequency for everybody when it's based on more like acidic type of frequency or basic type of frequency. You always have to alkalize that energy so everybody can use it. And then for a certain person, you have to pick the right energy. And that is what I was trying to do yesterday. And somebody came in and interfered with my work. They think about money. That's the biggest shit about them. They only think about money. They don't look at the future. And now this person has fucked their own child. What are we going to do? And I know it's that sister. Illusion. You're confusing your own child. You're confusing yourself. Just because you want it to be recognized. Hey! Bullshit. You're trying to control or tame God. It doesn't work that way. There's a Leo here and Aries involved. Yeah, it doesn't work. See, you have to work with your lineage frequency. But your lineage frequency, everyone is like a fingerprint. Everyone has their own. So, yeah, someone is coming down and giving you that information. Science is different. You can't tamper with science in the astrology. You can ruin somebody's life with astrology, but trust me, if that person has a strong energy, they can finish you. Because when they beam that energy, it will beam back to you. And if that person has a very protective energy, it can finish you. So be very careful. That is what I needed to tell you. Somebody caused illusions. And this, what you have done, and that's what I'm telling you, you're going to cause a lot of conflicts in your child's head, which will create illusion. So this child can be hallucinating later. Yeah, someone's going to be very sad. Yep. This person can be hallucinating, or you'll just see this person sitting like, you call them, hey, hey. Or they become totally out, detached from their body because the brain gets tired. And if there is no enough oxygen, this child becomes more like a zombie. And people are talking about the next era of artificial intelligence will be creating more zombies in this world than drugs. Yes. But artificial intelligence, yes, is not the solution, because when I do the full moon reading, I'll explain it to you. But what I'm trying to tell you is technology, instead of healing, it might end up harming people. And this is what you see those videos of apocalypse and everything. This is it. It's all about frequency. They can heal cells in your body. Trust me. But they can cause disaster. And I'm telling you, if it doesn't match your DNA, this is what is going to be happening. The first time it will look very okay because you have super extra energy. Suddenly, and especially if it's something to do with spells or body snatching, ooh, it will work only for a few minutes, and then this thing will backfire because you have conjured so much energy into it. Your body system does not take it anymore. So the brain goes shut. It just starts to go on a go slow. It's like on a strike, on a go slow. So you see somebody sitting like this, or you're trying to train something or to give them something to do, it doesn't work. And the more they feel it, the more as a parent, especially mothers, will be more affected because it connects to your etheric code. Remember, I'm telling you, the most important creature in this world when you want to heal is your mother. And if she's dead, it's okay, then it's a different story. But if she's alive, your mama is the person who can, especially with energy healing, your mother is very important when it comes to that. Because your etheric code speaks volume. So don't you ever be tempted to take somebody, and even if you're doing it with artificial intelligence, nope. That's machine. It's programmed to a certain code. But energy is different. It's a feeling. Machines, robots have no feelings. Touch a human like this, they will feel it. Touch a robot like this, they don't feel it. Because they are coded. It's all artificial. So it can give you information there and you think it's correct, but when it comes to you now energetically, it's a different story. It can come and cause harm to you. So please be very careful with this binding. Yesterday a blunder was done, and I'm telling you, this is a story of Andrew. And you might be carrying, by the way, karma for people who don't even need it. Such things. Okay? It can happen. Such things can happen. Like, for example, they're giving Bilal the energy of Rocky, Andrew. It doesn't work with him. And it's affecting his schoolwork. But guess what? The person who is merged to him, he is suffering. That person will suffer because, first of all, I'm a person who is also very spiritual. And we are always protected energetically with our guides. So when my son's guides are, our guides are like saying, no, no, no to this energy, but someone keep on sending it back, it's affecting him, his system. But the person who has sent it plus the one who was merged to him will suffer. I'm giving you a good example. Look at Rocky. Look at Andrew. They merged Bilal's energy with him. Where is Andrew? In prison. When I gave you the reading about Andrew Tate, what did I tell you? I told you the problem with Andrew, ego. So he was put in solitude because he needs to humble himself. The person who gave Bilal's energy to him, our frequencies are very high because we are protected by our guides. They pushed him, so that woman thought she's saving her partner. Unfortunately, she was not saving her partner. She made it worse. Now he's put the partner in solitude because my guides are pushing that energy away, and the more she sends it, the more he locks him. The more he is being locked. So this is not only a spiritual jail, a 3D jail, it's a spiritual jail. Those people who sent that energy to him is going to jail. Mark my words. The next person who will be going to jail, and I guarantee you, Rocky. Even if he doesn't have anything to do with it. Something will happen, Rocky will find himself in prison, just like Andrew. Andrew was just driving and ordering pizza and having fun. And suddenly there was a raid and he's locked to death. This is what happens when the energy, especially people who are very spiritual, when the energy resists and you keep on pushing it back and doing the binding, not only you are torturing, like they think they're torturing my son by harvesting what they have done. They're torturing the person who is linked to him, because you are trying to sabotage him energetically. Unfortunately, it backfires. Now he's in solitude. He is in solitude. And that's why I said, yes, in the reading, I think if it's a message yesterday, that Andrew will stay another moon cycle inside. Reason, his own people are betraying him. Energetically, he's being betrayed. People are fighting for him to get out, but energetically, he's being betrayed. And the reason is the person who's doing the binding. Even right now, what you have done, trust me, you're going to be caught. You're going to face the court of law this time. Yeah. And this can be a family dynamic. Someone wanted foundation, a Sagittarius thought they had it. There can be a Cancer, someone thought, oh, we've done it, we're going to be very rich, we're going to do. No. You created conflict in your own system. It doesn't work that way. And that's why I said I will sit and explain everything in details. It doesn't work that way. You are thinking about this, but in reality, what is coming is this. This, instead of Jupiter, you are getting a Saturn. And 5, which is conflict. It doesn't work this way. And that's why I'm telling you, ask. We have scientists, we have astrologers, we have astronomers here. But energy, people who beam into energies, how I do it, I've not seen here. And I'm not bragging, but I know how it works. So don't destroy your children because you want something to become. Come to me, ask me. Mima, I have my child and I can see if they have a talent, how are we going to enhance this? Or how can you help me to pick the energy of my child? Maybe they have a hidden talent. How can we get it? I'm ready to help. But when you come against me and you torture my kid, what happens? You suffer yourself. You suffer yourself. The same way they were taxing and stealing my money in the bank, and he said, we will tax them all. I'm a person who, Andrew was, honestly speaking, he was sending those Kim and everybody to gang stalk me. The day I lost it was 477. They thought they stole something. 4, which is always about Scorpios, and 77, that is this Virgo, and of course, that's his number, but 7 is also the number of Libra. And they thought they harvested something from me. Guess what happened? Because it was taken unwillingly from me, Andrew lost cars and he lost how many cars? I think 3, 4 cars were pulled and were all luxury cars, and some stuff which were taken worth 400, I think it was also 4.1 million, like my age. 4.1 million US dollars worth of goods. By just taking 477. He knew about it because he was in the group. I'm not going to lie. Let's call a spade a spade. But they did that only for them to. Now look how he's suffering. Every time they bring that energy and it's sent back, the guy is pushed more in prison. And this is going to happen to many. The same person who's more like karmic or like a double ganger, every time you try to steal my energy, you want to be me, calamities come to you, or problems are going to be emerging. And I did tell you, for you to live with my energy, you will have to go through what I went through. You will get cancer. I promise you. You will get cancer. Yep, because my guides are like that. You will get cancer. Can be Gemini very significant. You know about it. You're going to get cancer. I had my whole body, the whole lymph system. I had lymph node cancer. All my lymph nodes were. And I had this here. See this mark? Do you see this mark here? All the way. I had a very big pipe and I stayed with it for 5 good years. Can you withstand that? I lost my hair, lost everything. I was on a wheelchair. Here. Because, and that's why I have 1.5 lungs. Reason, between my heart and my lung was a very big lymph node. So I was to choose. I burn the lung and save the heart. But if it hits the heart, it's hard to get a replacement. And I can't survive only with the plastic one. I will need a fake one, or I will need like to get a replacement of the organ, and then it can be regulated for it to get in my system. So we agreed to lose the lung. And I have 1.5. But I trained it and do a lot of Zumba and everything and worked so much. I was doing a lot of lung exercises by blowing. There's something I had like a machine. I was always blowing the ball, and there was a graph in the system. I was always reading the strength of my lung until it's became stable. Can you live that? Can you survive that? And I'm living in a country where technology is way advanced. I got the help that I needed. If I was in Kenya, no offense, I would have been dead by now. When I was poisoned, I had to be flown to India. Because even in Kenya, they could not find out the problem. The dude is telling me you have TB in your stomach. When I went to India, they had to do, I had to go through a lot of endoscopies, tests and everything. And my whole intestines were washed, like you're washing a car. I had a CD for it. I don't even know if it's still in Kenya. Like a DVD. I could see everything that happened. They gave me a copy. So, are you ready to take that? Beaming energies is very bad. Don't bind people. Because it has a funny way of coming back to you, especially if the energy is not working. Wait until someone consents you and tell you like, yes, now this will work, take it. Like you see the girl who is running, she was trying to bind herself with me. She was binding herself with Bilal. I told her, you don't need to. I showed even her with her cards today. You have the gift. What do you want? You are right now in your life purpose and you are heading to your stardom. Just stay away from people who are very active in energies. Don't engage in any occult because you can be attached to an entity that is going to take away your wealth, your strength, and your stardom. Stay very far. Tell your parents to keep you out of this mess. I will say that. Focus on the field more than on the internet, and you will be very successful. Walk my words and you will remember me one day. Don't come here. Don't. Just stay very far. Don't be active on the group because there's too much karmic energies. Entities will be attached because of the groups you're going to be hanging out with. That will slow your growth. Go to the field. You need the field more than anybody. And don't attach anything with yourself. Don't allow anybody to merge your energy with anyone. You are okay. You're very okay. Go, run now. But this habit of attaching people because you want energies, and it's the stupidity of Scorpio and the grandma and Aliyah, and then come Capricorn with... stop it. Just stop it. And if it is small children, don't do it. You're going to harm your children because the energies are not heavy. I mean, they're not ready for them. Like I said, I'm complaining a lot. Why would somebody like Rambo give energy to a 14-year-old or Andrew? People who have already seen their life. Let these children be children. The only thing you can do is like the way I picked people who are strong, and I told you, merge their energies and sink it in him. Numbers, because he likes to draw, he has a dream of becoming an engineer. Let's build that on the scientific world because he wants to become, that was his dream. He's always been NASA, NASA, NASA. But NASA betrayed me. So I chose SpaceX. Now SpaceX is also doing the same thing. Because there's a Pharaoh who wants to prove a point. And there's an Aries somewhere, Alex. It doesn't work that way. Listen to me, Aries. You are the first house. You can't be wise. But there is something you need to know. You are the beginner. You are still a page in the energy of the zodiac wheel, okay? So when somebody tells you something, you can be very good. A person like Lada is an Aries, if I'm not wrong. She's good in her work, but you always have to know. Ask her. It took her 12 years for now to enjoy the proper fruit of her labor. Why? Because she had to go through the whole cycle. She's an Aries. She's a baby in the zodiac. It takes time. So people like Aries, that's why we call them baby boss. They're still babies in the zodiac. It doesn't mean I'm undermining you. Don't take me wrong. No. But there are some things you need to ask. You are very fiery. Your nature is fire. But ask. And a person like Noura, I know you are involved in this mess. Because you are a narcissist. I know you are involved in this mess. Because you pretend to be a high priestess, but with a Gemini and a Virgo, it doesn't work that way. Protect yourself now, because you went into a realm which is not even yours, just because you wanted to prove or you wanted to win, and you wanted a contract or somebody to be with you. It's going to stress you. It's not going to work. Everything will backfire. Maybe this will not work. You might want to go into a contract or a union, and it will turn out to be a disaster because you'll be only on a defense mode. It's not going to work here. Can be a water sign involved. Yep. Thought you're going to have an opportunity. It was something to celebrate. You thought you're going to create a generational wealth with it. Now, see, first house here, it's just going to create what? Instead of you taking action to create generational wealth, it's turning into a curse. Break it quickly. We don't have a lot of time. Okay, 6th. The full moon climax will be on 7th. Full moon climax will be on 7th. I can say you have less than 24 hours to fix it. And break that shit that you have done. Even the Aries or whoever, just break it because we have less than 24 hours to do this. And for the rest, don't allow people to do that to you. They've done it to my son. That's why I'm telling you. Go and break it quickly. You are not only, you think you are torturing him, you are torturing the guys who are there. And I'm telling you, that Rocky will find himself in the gang of Zoes. They might find themselves in prison. And energy, I tell you, is always contagious because it's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. You smoke marijuana and I sit next to you, it will smell. I will walk 10 miles away, I still have the smell, and the person can be caught. Yeah, I'm telling you, someone will be going to jail. There can be also a King of Pentacles if he's not careful here. This thing is going to affect him. If it's a spell, it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire so bad. It didn't work the way it's supposed. Someone did. You don't mix frequencies with spell. Let me be honest with you from the bottom. I wish I can explain this better. Never mix science with spells. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because you are working with a darker entity. Dark entities are low vibration. How do you expect to manifest in a low vibration? It doesn't work. That's why this is what happens. It bounces. Even someone who has depression, you can't give them the energy of another person. And that's why, look, there was a time they attached my energy with someone who is sick, or they attached the energy with that person who was sick with Bilal, and 3 weeks he was suffering here. What happened? He was healthy, but the moment that energy was attached, he was low vibrational, he became sick too. Do you see that? You never mix spells with frequencies. Science is different. Witchcraft is different. Never. ever, ever do that. Don't you ever do that. Energy healing is one of the most difficult thing to do. And that's why you see, people choose to be doctors. But to become real life energy healers, not everybody wants it. Because one wrong move, that entity can stay in you or it can affect you. Just treating that person, you picking that energy, it enters in you, it can ruin your entire life. It can jinx you. So don't ever mix this. Don't you dare try this. This is like taming God here. They don't work like that. Everybody has a gift. Learn to respect it. So this is wrong what they've done. I'm telling you. It's really wrong. And look, Andrew is already locked up. But this other person who is also like him, like a boxer, he might be locked up because his energy was not welcomed to us. I picked those people and I told you, merge his energy and sink it in Bilal. Somebody fucked up. Now these people even will, they thought they have it down. It's not going to work. You have to have this. It has to be accepted and protected for it to work in your genes, in your DNA string. That is when it will take action. Spirits are involved in frequencies. How do you think they move? They're invisible, but how can we communicate? Through frequencies. So yeah, need to fix this. Someone needs to go back to the drawing board, the scientists, fix this. But as I said, when you're fixing the identities and everything, break those spells. Because I'm telling you, someone needs to fix this. It's going to create poverty to somebody and a lot of tears. Who did this shit? Who came up with this? Because this is an ultimate betrayal to my child. Your plan was to leave us out in the cold, but it's not working. They did it to Andrew, and Andrew ended up in prison. I'm telling you, that guy was not supposed to be in prison. Even if every case was pointing to him, he was... what drove him to prison is his karma. And that's why I'm telling you, he was pushed there to be humbled. But those people who are rallying behind him now thinking they're fighting for his right, they're not. They're destroying him. Because especially that woman who is trying so much to merge his energy to Bilal, it doesn't work. And that's why every time my guides send it back, he's getting more sentence. And the more he gets the sentence, the ones who love her or love him, they get stuck. Now the same person next is Rocky. I assure you, if your energy is still around, after this full moon, because the full moon manifestation is 7, justice. Justice might fall on you. There's a hammer which can fall on you and you might end up in prison. Or someone who is ever around you. There can be even an earth sign woman, a Piscean involved here, because there was a fake Pisces, Sagittarius, and someone can even manifest their own poverty. Foolish, quick leap of faith, and you will jump through the cliff. And didn't I dream about the cliff and tell you about Stephanie? Yeah, skip stalking, but this has created a curse. So I hope you understand me now about this scientific part of frequencies. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. And when the energies are, especially people who are high vibration or guided, and it bounces back, it causes adverse effect. And for people who frequencies are not aligned to the genes and the DNA strings of their own system, there is a repel. And when anything repel, it causes frequencies. It causes friction. When it causes friction, and that is where when there's a friction, there's what? Fire. So they create heat, then nerves expand, a lot of electrons, because it's a lot of electrostatic energy, they are resistance. And the next thing, system shut off. Things are just busting and the brain goes non-functional because it's not merging with you. Instead of moving together, it's moving against one another. So there is no proper flow. There's no proper flow. It's fighting against one another. So I hope I've explained it better. Just like a vaccine, the way you first to take it is always react with the main body cells, and it causes a lot of maybe side effects or anything. The same thing. But with energy, it's totally different because you can't, it's all about feelings. and artificial intelligence can mislead you. As I said, it is a coded system, but energy is all about what we feel. A dead person is dead. But when a person is a live, living thing, so long as your heart is beating, your energy is always different and it can vibe at any level or voltage. So be very careful what you're doing. And that's the reason I said that guy cannot be healed even in the scientific side. He needs more like someone to beam energy to him, and he needs a proper high priestess or someone who is a proper healer to do it like the way I do it. If he wants, he can go and look somebody else, somewhere else. If he wants me to help, I can help. But it takes a lot of energy for people to do such things, and I don't like it. Even what they have done to Bilal, you see, I want to do it out of pain, but my guide said, no, you'll be healing him out of trauma and you'll give him your trauma and pain. Reason, your heart, because you're seeing your child suffering. And it's the person who is doing it on purpose. But don't worry, we are sending back the energies to them. They're also going to be in problems. The same shit they're bringing to me, we are just beaming it back. They will take it slowly, slowly until it reaches a time and it will come back and come to them like this. And that's the reason I say you're not helping your friend in prison. And in fact, you are sending another group in prison now for what you have done. And for the children, you can create them like they can be termed autistic. When they're not autistic, it's because you are killing their own brain growth. The cells are very sensitive. That's why the brain is more like a gel. It's easy to destroy it than to build it. Very easy to destroy it than to build it. So be very mindful with playing with this binding spell and making artificial intelligence or trying to put words in your mouth. Remember, what you're sending out, it has an effect on you because you are participating in that action. And whenever there's an action, there's a reaction. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Please fix what you have done to my son, and the one who has sent that energy to that child. You're going to cause a lot of conflict. It's a lot. Pick those people have sent, merge their energies and sink it in Bilal, and that is how we're going to work and look forward in the next step. They are not supposed to be taken to prison, to fly as the chosen one. No, their energy was to be merged with Bilal, and it is through me. Then what they will be beaming me, they can't even feel strongly from him. For him, they're just like guardians. But I will be even synchronizing a lot of things with them. They will be picking my energy, and I can send some things to them. But somebody didn't even understand what I was trying to do, and they went and did it the witchcraft way, which is very wrong. Now, please undo that quickly, because that person who has taken that energy will be affected. And for Bilal, the same thing. Remove those people, because I'm telling you, they will be taken to prison. And this is just because my guides are returning that energy, and they will have to be like put in solitude. And when you're put in solitude, where is the best place to be put in solitude and to be humbled? Is prison. So that's the reason I didn't want to share this much, because I knew that people will start to judge me. But as long as it's affecting my son and someone is playing dirty and it has gone too far with identity theft, it is what it is. And the damage is too much, like someone has almost losing their destiny because of this bullshit. Stop what you're doing. This enmity goes nowhere, because whatever is written for you, God has already written it for you. Everyone has a soul contract. This swapping will not last. Everything expires. Even our souls expire and we die. So what's the rest for? What's all this bullshit for? Just move and stay in your lane. And if you need help, ask people to help you move up in high vibration. But you don't need to hurt people, innocent children, like a 14-year-old boy of mine, going through hell because somebody wants to win a lot of money and identity theft. And a fucking father figure, I'm sorry with my dirty mouth, is desperate for a pussy and to please a woman. So he goes out of his way and destroy another child for the woman's child to survive. Shame on you. And to the mothers too. Learn to respect the womb. There's a reason why you are given a womb but not a man. Have a good night.